Hey guys, it's Crystal. Just doing an update with everything that's going on. We did get the truck fixed. Thank you, God. It was more than just the radiator, and it cost way more than I had anticipated, and really threw us for a loop. I know I had some of you concerned YouTubers who are car folks email me, and with what I had told you what happened with the truck, you emailed me and were concerned that it was more than just the radiator. And anyways, you guys are super awesome and way more knowledgeable. I ended up not going to the mechanic who initially told us that the radiator and flushing it and everything was going to be close to $900. Thank goodness I did, because one, you guys were right, they would have ripped me off. It does not cost that much for a flush and a new radiator, and I'm just really thankful for all your guys' awesome advice. It seems like every time I post up a video and I'm not too educated on the subject, you guys seem to always guide me in the right direction. So I did go to a different mechanic, and he found a totally different issue of why the truck was running, like not running, actually why it was broke. It did end up costing us a lot more, but I'll show you guys because I don't really know. This is my bill. For those of you who thought $900 was too much for the radiator and flushing it, you were right, because this is how much. It's $455. How much it was for just the new radiator, flushing out the entire system, and all that stuff. So anyways, it ended up being a whole lot more than that. As you can see from my final price down here, it was $1649.13. That's how much it costs to get my truck repaired. Now the major problem was, let's see, this guy right here, the torque connector cooler, and that piece was about $800 just to buy the part. Extremely expensive. As you can see up here, the radiator, this was a brand new radiator, $225. So that's how much he charged me for that. And then all the other stuff. But the mechanic that I went to ended up being really cool, super honest, and felt really bad for my situation. So he gave me like $100 off because he tried to get the parts as cheap as he could. The $800 part, which was the torque cooler part, that was the $800 part, and he tried his best to get it as cheap as he could. But that part specifically could only be bought from the Dodge house. You can't get it at an O'Reilly's or any auto mechanic store. So we had to wait a while for it to be sent to him, and yeah, it was a bit more of a heart stopper to hear that it was going to be so much money to get the truck fixed, because it did end up clearing out our savings, which we didn't have that much anyways. We only had $500 saved because we continuously keep having trouble with the truck. I don't know why, but so it wiped us out. We're broke for a little bit, but it's okay. We're not stressing out about it because we have our truck back. I can tell you right now that we would not be able to have our truck or have been able to pay that without your guys' help. I didn't ask for help on the video that I'd had a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago or whatever, but a couple of you did send some money, like a donation, and 100% we would not have been able to get the truck out this soon without your guys' help. So Any money that was sent to us went to that, to pay that bill, to get our truck out of the shop. And we are incredibly, incredibly thankful. I feel so thankful, honestly. I don't know what to say besides thank you so much for your help, and thank you for helping us have a vehicle again. And I know that some of you have sent me messages about why not just get rid of that truck and get a different truck. The problem with that is there's a lot of issues with that. It takes a lot of time to sell a truck and then find a new truck. We have you have to get a new trailer brake system installed in the truck. You have to get a hitch installed in the truck so that we can tow this. We have to make sure it's able to tow this trailer. Our truck is a diesel truck, and it's very expensive. We wanted diesel because after all the research that I had done before we started RVing, diesel seemed the best way to go because they lasted so long and their engines were so good. I haven't really had a lot of engine problems besides this $1,600 problem right here. Before that, most of our problems were, well, we still need new tires, but our brakes. That was the major problem when we first got down here, was we needed new brakes and new rotors, and I don't know. We needed, I'm sorry, I can't think right now. We needed some other stuff that had to do with the bearings and the tires. So it wasn't engine related at all, which made me confident in my decision to keep the diesel truck because the engine was so solid. This issue right here, I don't know. This is the first actual real engine problem that we've had since we've had the truck. So it doesn't really think that we need to switch out the truck and get a new one if this is the only issue that we've had concerning the engine. Even when we were in California and we had truck problems, that was with the bearings on the front tire. So once again, not an engine issue. So we think that the truck is a solid, sturdy, reliable truck, and so that's why we're keeping it. And paying $1,600, even though it is a lot, a whole lot, especially this time of time in our life when his work at Amazon is coming to a close and we still have not saved any money because we continuously keep having issues come up like that. That's the most expensive issue we've had come up since being here, but still they all just roll and add up, which sucks. But getting a new truck is just not an option. Paying that is just way cheaper than buying a new truck, because then we would have to attempt to sell this truck, and it took us so long to find that truck. It took us about 3 months to find the right truck and the right price. You know, I think we paid like $12,000 for it. It had pretty low miles, and it actually, even though we travel a lot, it still has really low miles for a diesel truck, which is awesome. Stuff like this comes up. It sucks. That is why I highly recommend to any of you, especially if you're not full-time yet, to really make sure that you have some savings before you hit the road. This stuff that happened was completely unavoidable. The mechanic said there was absolutely no way that I could have taken preventative measures to stop this from happening. So it is what it is. We had tried really hard to start a savings after we had slowly been fixing stuff, but like I said, it just keeps rolling and rolling. The issues keep coming, and that's just gonna happen no matter where you are. You know, when we lived in a house, issues would just come up all the time. Bills would just keep stacking up, and thankfully we're in a position where we're work camping, so we don't have electric, gas, and water, rent or mortgage or anything like that. We're staying here for free. We own our RV, we own our truck. Technically we're debt free if you don't include the foreclosure we have on our list, but we don't really have anything to pay for besides the stuff that continuously keeps coming up. So that was a bit of a damper, but we're super, super thankful for the people that did help out. Like I said, there's absolutely no way in the world that we would have had our truck out as soon as we did without your guys' help. We didn't want it to come to asking his parents for money, because it's just like, you know, he has a job and it's okay paying, and he gets paid weekly, and there would be no reason for us not to be able to pay this, except for just stuff keeps coming up. It's just, we don't ever want to resort to having to ask family unless it's a real emergency. So we're really thankful for our family, but thankfully we didn't have to ask anyone. We would have, if no one would have helped us out financially, we would have just let the truck sit in the mechanic's shop for a few weeks until we were able to acquire that much money from his checks, and just done it that way. Anyways, things here are going okay. The weather is getting a bit more colder, actually a lot more colder, and I made the mistake of running out of propane in the middle of the night a few nights ago, and it was awful. Thankfully, the boys are always kept warm, but there's no heater upstairs because we have two space heaters. One's on the wall, that 400 watt panel that we have, and then we have a little tiny one, which I also think is in that video that I shot of the panel. But both of those keep the downstairs area very warm if we don't have the heat on. Upstairs, however, it was pretty cold, so immediately I had to go and get propane the next morning. But lesson learned, we have 3 tanks actually, and we just hadn't filled them up because propane is pretty expensive here, and compared to where we were, which the last place we filled up our tanks was in Klamath, California, and it was $1.89 a gallon for propane there. So here it's $3, I think, maybe a little over $3. So I've just kind of been putting it off, and I haven't really checked them, and we hadn't really used the heat that much because the space heaters have been doing so well. But it did get cold a couple nights ago. Lesson learned on that. Anyways, one chilly night we had. It's been really floodish here. Some RVs around here have just one little strip. When they walk out of their RV, they have to walk on the gravel straight to their vehicle because they're surrounded by a lot of water around here. We are not. Our grass is just really muddy, and it's not very pleasant to walk outside because it's so cold. Anyways, other than that, we are doing great. We had an awesome Thanksgiving. We didn't do the whole big meal thing. We just did like arts and crafts and kind of hung out together. I let the boys watch some movies, and we played some games, and actually it wasn't that much different from a typical day here. Besides, we did a lot more crafts, and we hung them on the wall, and we probably let the boys watch a little bit more TV than they usually get to. So that was our Thanksgiving. And in other news, my husband is going to stay 2 weeks longer here at this Amazon past his last day is the 23rd of this month, and we have to be out of this campground Christmas. So I think on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve we're leaving to go to a different campground that's closer to Amazon for 2 weeks. The only downside to him staying an extra 2 weeks is that we have to pay for our own campground. They won't continue to pay for our campground, our water, electricity, that jazz. So it'll be our first time ever, I think, paying for a campsite, so that's going to be a little weird. And I've never actually looked into prices really, because we've always been work campers and always got our site for free. But I looked into prices and I was taken back a little by the prices, and so I don't know how it'll work, because some of those are like half my husband's paycheck a week for just 1 week. So it'll still be worth it though, because even though it's like half my husband's check we'll be getting, that's still money we wouldn't have if he didn't stay an extra 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, we are still planning to head to Quartzsite. So if any of you guys want to get together, let us know. That'll be fun. We're really excited. My husband's especially excited to not be so overworked and tired, and to spend quality time with us. So, and to meet new people. It'll be fun and exciting. So other than that, not too much has been going on. Once again, I thank everyone for awesome advice, and some of you even sent me really encouraging emails not to be down. I thank you for that, because it really helped. And thank you for helping the couple of you who donated money. Thank you so much for helping us get our truck out in a much more timely manner than like a month. And thank you for all your really awesome advice. I think that I probably have a really awesome YouTube channel, because all you guys are so awesome and positive and send me really good advice when I just don't know exactly what's going on. So I'm glad that I can count on you guys to be honest and open with me and shoot it like it is. So I thank you guys for being awesome. I hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving, and Christmas is coming up, so I hope you guys don't get too overwhelmed with the holidays and just have fun. But talk to you guys later. Bye.